Their economy's smaller than the state of Texas. They're losing population like crazy. Their military's falling apart. Russia isn't the superpower it pretends to be. They're weak. And with the right strategy, they can be beaten. Hey there, Patriots. This is Bruce Rutherford back with you from the Westwood Golf Club in Houston, Texas. Last week, we really pulled back the curtain on Russia. For those of you who missed it, let me catch you up real quick right now, because what we're talking about today builds upon what we said last week. Last time, we showed you how Russia's really more like a paper tiger, let's call them a paper bear, than a superpower. Their economy's smaller than the state of Texas. They're losing population like crazy, of about 800,000 to 1 million people a year. Their military's falling apart, and Russia's running the whole place like it's his personal piggy bank. But today we're going to talk about what we can do about all that. I want you to hear this, and you may not agree with all of it, but I want you to think about it and really discuss it with others and talk it through and see what you think of this common sense approach. I've got a plan that could change everything about this situation. Now, some folks might say that what I'm about to say is too aggressive. Others might say it's not aggressive enough. But let me tell you exactly what America needs to do right now. First of all, we need to triple our military aid to Ukraine. Now, I know some of you are thinking, oh, Bruce, we're already sending them a hell of a lot of money. And some of you object to even that amount of money. But here's the thing. Ukraine has proven they can fight, and that they will fight for their own freedom. They've shown they can win. We just need to give them the tools to finish the job. And speaking of tools, we've got to stop holding Ukraine back from hitting military targets deep inside Russia. Think about what we're doing here. We're asking them to fight with one hand tied behind their back. That makes absolutely no sense. Remember, they're trying to defend their country and save their liberty. Let's talk air power for a minute. Ukraine needs at least 100 modern fighters, and without control of their own skies, this war just keeps dragging on like trench warfare. So that helps Putin, only Putin, because he has bigger numbers on his side. We need to drive Russia completely out of the Black Sea. Give Ukraine the anti-ship missiles and naval drones they need to do that. Right now, Russia's using that sea like it's their private swimming pool, and that needs to stop. Something happened recently that will help us in this. Turkey has denied Russia the use of the Dardanelles Straits. That means that Russia cannot reinforce its Black Sea fleet through the Dardanelles. This is the opportune time for the Ukraine to completely destroy the Russian Navy in the Black Sea. We also need to share more real-time intelligence with Ukraine. In modern warfare, knowing where your enemy is just as important as having the ammunition to hit them. Now, here's one point that's going to raise some eyebrows. If Russia's bringing in North Korean troops, we should match them. The Russians want to make this an international conflict. Fine. Let's show them what an international conflict really looks like. We would fast track Ukraine's entry into NATO. That would show Putin we really mean business and the whole world that democracy matters to all of us. Now, keep in mind, that would invoke Article 5 of NATO, where all the NATO nations pledge to support the nation that has been attacked. That could mean we, the United States, put boots on the ground in Ukraine. So think about that. But that is the thing that will drive Putin out of Ukraine. That's the last thing he wants us to do. Let's talk about money now, because this is where we can really hurt them. We need to crank up our sanctions on Russia. Every Russian asset we can find, we should freeze. Every bank account, every piece of property, everything. And while we're at it, let's boost our natural gas exports. Qatar is doing it, Australia is doing it, and we should do it too. That will hit the Russians where it really hurts, right in the wallet. I should say where it really hurts Putin, right in his wallet. Speaking of hitting them in the wallet, we need to cut their oil money completely. Last year they made $178 billion from oil. That's 178 billion reasons to shut them down. There's $300 billion in frozen Russian money sitting in Western banks right now. It's time to stop freezing it and just take it. Use it to rebuild the Ukraine. Use it to rebuild what the Russians have destroyed. When Ukraine wins, and notice that I said when, not if, here's exactly what victory needs to look like. First, Russia gets out, completely out, and that includes Crimea. No exceptions, no negotiations, no special status, no dual administrative regions. They pack up and they go home. And second, this one really gets me fired up. They need to return every single one of those 260,000 Ukrainians they have kidnapped, including, and this just makes my blood boil, those 20,000 to 70,000 children they took. Can you imagine taking someone's children? That's worse than war. That's just pure evil. Third, they need to pay for what they broke. Early estimates say they caused about $411 billion in damage. They need to pay every penny of that. You break it, you buy it. That's how it works in Texas, and that's how it should work in Ukraine. Fourth, those war crimes have got to be dealt with. Now, maybe to get a settlement out of this, we let Putin slide. Maybe we let Putin get a pass on his personal involvement in these war crimes just to end this thing. But his generals, the ones who ordered those attacks on civilians, they need to face justice. Now, there are regional implications to all of this. Why does all this matter beyond Ukraine? Because every country near Russia is watching what we will do now. The Baltic states, Poland, Finland, they're all wondering if they're going to be next. If we don't stop Putin now, will one of them be next? How will we handle this situation? That sends a big message, not just to Putin, but to every other would-be aggressor out there. And you better believe China's watching. This is where you come in. We need a national conversation about this. Call your representatives, your senators, talk to your friends and your family. Share what you've learned in these past 2 weeks. And I want to hear from you on this. Is this plan tough enough? Should we be doing even more? What do you think about putting American boots on the ground? Because we might do that if we admit the Ukraine to NATO and Article 5 is invoked. It could result in American boots on the ground in the Ukraine. Your voice matters in this conversation. Please let us hear from you. Let us hear what you think and share your thoughts with your friends, colleagues, your family members. Now, next week, we're going to tackle another hot topic. But until then, remember this. Russia isn't the superpower it pretends to be. They're weak, they're desperate, and with the right strategy, they can be beaten. God bless you, and God bless America.